Hey guys, welcome to patch 11.16 patch analysis. Kind of a boring patch really, not too much mid lane stuff, a lot of jungle changes and some Enchanter changes, mostly targeted at Karma and Lulu. They've been solo laners, and they've been popping off in pro play, so I say this is mostly a pro play targeting patch. Okay, so Diana jungle, 50% less damage to non-epic monsters, meaning her clear speed will be down by a bit. I'm not sure how significant this is. I'd say she's still viable, but she's probably not going to be nearly as OP in terms of clearing. Fiora E nerf, 2-second longer cooldown later. This is huge, actually. Kind of sucks for Fiora players, I'm going to say. I honestly don't think she's been that OP, but yeah, kind of sucks. J4 base damages and just flat damage buff on his passive and his ulti. So this is to bring the viability of Jarvan jungle up. Jhin just damage buff, 10 extra damage on his W and then 5% extra ratio on his R. Just trying to get more ADCs into the presence, you know. Karma nerf. This is, okay, huge changes. So basically, her wave clear early has been nerfed significantly. Later on, like, it's a late game buff technically, because you have 1 second lower cooldown on your Q and then the mana cost is 10 lower. But you do not that much damage anymore to the wave, and you can't really spam it anymore. So this is definitely a mid-top Karma nerf. And they actually buff the later damage. So yeah, this is just to make her mid-late game stronger, but like Karma's an early mid champion, right? So kind of counterintuitive. Also, her shield, 20 more shield once she has max rank on that, so around level 13. Move speed is just flat now, not 60, doesn't scale up, so that kind of sucks. And also, it doesn't give as much move speed towards your teammates. It's more focused on the shield than the move speed now, because the ally champions don't get 100% bonus move speed. They get 30% bonus move speed, and that is a 70% decrease. That is fucking huge. So I'm gonna have to say Karma's gutted. I'm gonna have to say she's useless now. So don't pick this champion, especially in the solo lane. Maybe a support you can pick her, but not a solo lane. Lee Sin nerf. There's some lane Lee Sinner still, but mostly jungle. They're just nerfing the Omnivamp by 5% at level 1, which is pretty significant. 5% Omnivamp is basically Ravenous Hunter at 3 stacks, right? So yeah, that's pretty big. So nerfing Lee sustain in lane and also some sustain in the jungle. Lulu nerfs, just longer cooldown on her polymorph and then longer cooldown on her ult, like I said. They're just nerfing Enchanter solo laners, but I'd say Lulu actually came out of this surviving the nerfs, honestly. This isn't too bad as what they did to Karma. So you can still play Lulu in the solo lane, it's not that bad. Okay, Maokai changes. They're going to make his E do less damage by a little bit, but they're increasing his sustain, so they want top Maokai to be meta again, okay? So they're increasing his sustain, so maybe top Maokai is viable now, who knows? Nuna buff, 5 more move speed and ratio on his E, but this is kind of worthless because like Nunu doesn't really build AP that much, so this doesn't really do anything. But the 5 move speed is nice, I guess. Shaco bug fixing, they're just making his R easier to use. I mean, you guys can read over this, but I don't think this is too relevant to the patch review, honestly. It's just like bug fixing and some visual stuff. Okay, this is huge actually. Sivir W damage ratio, it goes to 90% AD compared to the 70% AD it would have at max rank. And this is fucking huge. This means she literally one-shots the wave when she maxes this ability. Like, it's so broken, actually. And you have to remember that this is literally crits. Her W can literally crit. So 90% damage, that's basically an actual auto attack instead of 70%. So, yeah, this is pretty big. If Sivir can somehow survive lane and get to level 13, like, she can stall out games for so long. Okay, Sona, big changes. It's basically a rework. So they gave her a new passive where she just gets ability haste. Like, she literally just gains ability haste up to 60 ability haste. Every time she uses her ability, she gets 0.5 ability haste. Okay? And they just tune her kit around all of that. Her mana costs are significantly lower on all her spells now, as you guys can see. They also got rid of the mana refund, kind of gimmicky anyways, so I would have to say this is mostly a buff. Like, lower mana costs, and then you get ability haste. You don't even have to build ability haste, you just get it. And now her ulti hits champions, minions, and monsters, so yeah, I would have to say that, I mean, this is interesting for sure. I'm not too sure if she'll be meta, because enchanters are kind of bad right now in most scenarios, but we'll see how this folds out. This is definitely interesting, that's for sure. So TK nerfed to his laning. His passive does less damage, and his Q does less healing by 5 at each rank. Vladimir buff, actually, they're gonna buff. So his passive, he gets AP from health and health from AP. So they're just buffing his base stats. And whenever base stats get buffed, champions end up being broken, but I don't know if these numbers are significant enough to make it broken. We'll see how this works out. But I don't think Vlad will be broken. His laning is pretty bad in mid lane especially. It's okay in top lane, I guess, but I don't think this is enough to make Vlad strong. 380 nerf on Xin. He just gets 3 less 80 at all levels. I don't know if this will completely kick him out of meta, but this is definitely significant. 380 is nothing to laugh at, guys. It's like worth 100 gold. That's like a cannon and 2 melees. It's pretty OP. Ziggs early game nerf. They actually gave him 60 mana back compared to before. And they decreased the damage of his mines, his E, and the slow. So he's a lot more punishable because his E just doesn't just slow for 30% at all ranks. Or 30 to 50% at all ranks. Now you have to actually put more points into E before your E gives you more value and escape tools. Because Ziggs is pretty hard to punish. Darkseal nerf. This makes me very sad, but basically you get 1 less AP per kill and you lose 1 more stack per death. It's still a good item. It's always going to be a good item, but you really have to not die if you want value out of this item. Redemption buff. More healing and lower cooldown on redemption. Instead of being 2 minute cooldown, it's 1 minute 30 second cooldown. And it also heals more. So I'd say it's pretty significant. Redemption will definitely be a bit stronger as an item. And new skins coming out, just Coven skins actually. I'm pretty looking forward to the Cassiopeia one. Cassio, Coven Cassio, Old Gods, Coven Eve, Coven Ari, Ashe, and Coven LeBlanc Prestige. I'm just looking forward to Cassio, honestly. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this patch review, and luck on the rift, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.